All right, guys, you're welcome. If you are here for the first time, or this is my first video actually on this channel, those of you who are familiar with me on the other channel, I'm trying to branch into a more news kind of channel about Africa and the world, really. So, today's news, I want to talk about the recent happenings in Burkina Faso, and I'm going to link that to other countries where inaction has led to what do you call it? Inaction by the government, inaction by the citizens, especially, has led to impunity. So, if you are aware of what's happening right now in Burkina Faso, there's been a protest. The citizens are tired of the presence of Islamic states and all these terrorists in their country. So I've got two sources here. I have Reuters and VOA. Let me read from you. Let me read from Reuters first, and I'm going to read from both of them actually. So at the end of this, I'm going to link it. I'm going to make a commentary. So, according to Reuters, widespread anger and violent protests in Burkina Faso over what demonstrators said was the government's inability to stop deadly attacks by Islamist militants. Those of you who are aware, you know that since the fall of Gaddafi and the civil war in Libya, most of those terrorists that don't have anywhere to go, they cannot assimilate in societies. They form themselves into different different groups, and then try to look for weak countries in Africa, the Sahel region of Africa especially, and then most of them have made their way into northern Nigeria because we have a very bad government over there. So, according to Reuters, protesters have burned tires and ransacked government buildings in the capital and on Saturday following a call by activists and opposition parties in response to attacks by militants linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State that have killed more than 60 members of the security forces and at least dozens civilians since November 14. Now, this is the part of it that has made its way into the news. I believe more people have died that have not been reported. Okay, so the issue here is that we have bad leaders, bad leadership. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. Let me go to VOA, VOA News, Voice of America News in Africa. It says, security is getting worse in Burkina Faso with the deadliest attacks by Islamic militants in the West African country in years on civilians and security forces. People are protesting. Listen to me. People are protesting the failure of Burkinabe and international forces to stop the violence, with some calling for change at the top. I don't know why they put international forces here. It should be the responsibility of the country. Okay? It should be the responsibility of the country. If the country cannot fight terrorists, then they should call international forces to come in. Now, continuing on the VOA News, in recent days, protests have spread across several cities in Burkina Faso. Demonstrators were angry at what they say is the government's inability to counter terrorism after an Al-Qaeda-linked terror group attacked a military outpost, like I stated earlier. Why am I bringing this up today? In Nigeria, we have had terrorists like feeling comfortable walking around, you know, because some of them are being sponsored by people within the country. So they allow them free movement. Most of them have morphed into cattle rearers, but the Nigerian government has refused to label these people terrorists because most of them are from like that section where the current Nigerian Nigerian government is from. So they don't want to criticize their people. They don't want to label them as terrorists. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as most Nigerians are concerned, these are terrorists. Okay, so my issue here today is that the Burkinabe citizens are tired. They are protesting now in the country. They are tired of what is happening, what has happened, why their country has been decimated by terrorists. In Nigeria, Nigerians cannot protest. Nigerians cannot ask the government. Nigerians, instead of Nigerians to protest the atrocities of terrorists in the country, Nigerians would rather go to church and pray to God to come down and help them. They will never go to the street. Nigerians don't want to feel comfortable, don't want to feel uncomfortable. They can't even protest even online. I'm doing this, I feel like I'm the only one doing it. Okay? So the problem, Nigeria's problem is not really the government, it's the citizens, because you have refused to demand better from your government. Look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. The citizens are tired. They're protesting. They're burning tires. They are invading government offices. Can that ever happen in Nigeria? And terrorists are killing people, state after state in Nigeria, and we allow them to walk around freely. If the government cannot do anything, the citizens cannot even get up and demand and protest and say we don't want this. Nigeria's problem is not the government, it's the citizens. Okay? Alright guys, this is my introduction to this new channel. I'm trying to figure out, even because I'm busy right now, it's towards the end of the year, so maybe once or twice a week I need to create a schedule to come up and talk about news, African news especially. And I'm going to leave a link to those of you who are seeing me for the first time. I'm going to leave a link to my other channels where I where I talk about other things. But guys, if you like what you see, if you are impressed by what I'm about, you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, share, like, just, you know, let's get it. It's a very new channel. I don't think I have a subscriber yet on this particular channel, but if you like what you see, if you want more, subscribe, and then we'll continue from there. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. The idea is to make news about what's happening in African countries, really, from West Africa all the way to South Africa. So I'm gonna pick out news headlines, major headlines, and I talk about it here, and I give it my own spin. All right guys, thank you so much for being here. I will see you again next time. Bye.